Hello and greetings. My name is Katla and I am a reenactor and member of Sjorvaldar Vikings. We are a nonprofit group that is based out of Central to Northern California, and we are going to make a series of videos that will highlight some of the different areas of the Viking Age life of Scandinavians and other Viking settlements. Today, our first one has to do with clothing, and we'll highlight some of the information and basic findings and shapes of the clothing that the Vikings wore. As most of you know who are in the reenactment community, this information is based on the current archaeological finds, and archaeology is a constantly morphing and changing entity. We may find one piece, and that is what we base our findings on and our information on, and then it is either disproven or something else is found, and that will possibly change the whole idea of clothing, especially since most of the finds are fragmentary. They are small pieces, and they're usually stuck to pieces of metal because most of the other stuff around it has degraded, and so you get these little fragments of these clothing, whether it be behind a tortoise brooch or a belt or some other kind of coin or jewelry. There are some findings that are almost in their entirety and larger, but those are few and far between and very rare. This is based on the information that we have right now and my own personal findings and research that I've done either through articles, scholarly informational pieces, and other people within the community. Typically, women would have an underdress, and the underdress would usually be made in linen if they were lucky enough to have that. You would want the softer material closer to your skin, and it had a basic shape to it. In some cases, they didn't have any linen at all and would wear just a wool underdress, but if they were lucky enough to have both, they would layer them together. Typically, they are rectangles and triangles, a panel in the front which is rectangular, and the back, and then gores on the side to add more fabric within the bottom. The clothing was rather simple. They would have either a rounded neckline or a keyhole neckline, and would have a brooch to hold the tops of the keyhole neckline together. On top of that, which usually was worn, or what they have found in grave sites, is an overdress known as apron dress or a hangarock or a smocker. They were the same length in the front to the back and went down to about the waist or hips and had gores as well. So another set of those triangles to add more fabric and movement in the bottom so you can move your legs around more freely. Now on the top they had straps. They were attached through these loops with tortoise brooches. That's how we know a good amount about female clothing, because typically you would find a lot of the fabric, the fragmentary pieces, under these brooches. Some of these items may have been a little bit more than the typical straight rectangles and triangles to make these simple dresses. There are evidence of darts. One in particular, there's a smocker in Hathabu, and there are darts near the chest, bringing it in to create more of a shape. There's also been findings of pleats or gathered areas, and that's in both a sark in Berka and a smaker in Kostra. Men typically have a similar version of the women's underdress, a tunic. A lot of them tend to have the same keyhole neckline, same sleeves, some straight, some slightly tapered, and they did also have gores that started around the waist or the hip. Just the main difference were the length, and typically for men's tunics, they would tend to be about the length of the thigh.
But just like women's clothing, there has also been finds of men's clothing that were more intricate and advanced with the patterns, such as the Viborg tunic.
Next, we have the trousers.
It seems to be that there was a wide array of styles worn by the Norse in regards to trousers. Some were slim fit, some were baggy, some were simple, and others had more elaborate additions like things like belt loops and even feet attached like you see on toddlers today. Outer garments varied greatly as well, with some being as elaborate and intricate as finding silks and buttons, to others being simple kaftans that wrap around the front. And there were long women's coats where the neckline dipped down low enough to be able to see the tortoise brooches that attached to the apron dresses, all the way to simple rectangular cloaks. There were also hats with fur trim, hats without, and variations of different kinds of hoods.
Thank you for joining us today and watching our video about the basics of Viking Age clothing for Scandinavians and other settlements of the Vikings. If you are interested in seeing more of these videos, please like our page and follow us. Hope to see you on the next video. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you.